Okay, this is my third try or probably fourth try because I had some issues because the assignment is in very old version. I have to load it in 7.2.2. It was not displaying its port tables correctly. So first of all, let's verify the version. And now I'm going to load my assignment. This is the one. So this is purely like you provided without any modification. And you see, this is the problem. So I'm going to fix it. I found when I type it here like this, try to add node, it will start displaying these port names. So that's enough to make them appear. Now next, quickly we have to verify these IP addresses of each interface. So this is router 1, and if I go in quickly here, so the password is, console password is Cisco con PA55, sorry, Cisco con PA55, con PA55, sorry, maybe fat finger, enable, and then password is Cisco ENPA55, and show IP interface, and when you tap just int and hit tab, it will complete. If there is no any matching for that number of letters, it will complete the rest of the command. Show IP interface, then brief, enter. Here we see the IP addresses. Let me make it a bit bigger. So for router 1, IP address is for fast Ethernet is 192.168.1.1. We cannot verify mask. I will tell you how to verify that. And then the serial is 10.1.1. I just wanted to show you because this is normally how all the engineers verify the IP addresses and status of the ports. So these are up. How to verify the clocking? So show, run, and here we can see that this is the mask. And by doing show run, it's important to see it by running show run, because if you want to verify the clocking, you can verify it from here as well. Since this is DCE, DCE means that this is providing the clocking. The other end will be DTE, that's receiving the clocking. So we verified our IP addresses for router 1. Next is router 2. We will do the same. And since I know we can use the password and they're working, so there is another quick way to skip the password. Just click here, because now it enters into interface mode. It just goes somewhere else. Type end, and you do not need to enter password. It's just skipping the password. It's only in packet tracer kind of a glitch or hack, just to save the time. Okay, so show run. And show run, for this we have to verify serial 00, IP address and password subnet must verified, and for serial 001, and we have a clocking and loopback. We have one loopback configured, and loopback should be here. Okay, so we have the loopback verified. Next step is to verify our router R3. I will do the same kind of hack. Just click on it, because it will take you, in fact it is just taking you to the command line to configure that interface. I type, and I do not want to configure that, so it's just kind of a hack to save the time. So do not need to worry what I'm doing, how I'm skipping, just follow the actual task. So show run, and in show run we have to verify it's fast Ethernet 01, sorry, it's 192.168.3.1 with subnet ma 255.255.255.0 0001. Here we have it, and it's matching as well. Okay, now PCA, I don't know if you can, now you can read it here. I'm just moving it cross, just I'm moving left to right just to show you the name of the PCs. So here we have PC A. Its IP address we can verify by going here and in IP configuration we can see 192.168.1.3 with subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 and default gateway is 192.168.1.1. Done. And we have to verify the PC C. We'll do the same thing, desktop and IP configuration, and we verify the IP address for this one as well. Okay, so first of all it is saying that we have to verify the connectivity. These are the four objectives. Then we have to configure ACLs. Then we have to configure for ACL or R1 and R2 to mitigate attacks. Then and eventually we have to verify the functionality. So we quickly jump onto the task. Verify network connectivity prior to configure the IP ACLs. So just to tell you that I did not configure anything in these routers. All these tasks I'm doing from scratch. So and just because I have to do it on 7.2.2, I thought that better I would record at the same time. Okay, from PCC we have to do ping. Why not doing one more thing? I will put IP addresses here so we will remember which PC have which IP address. Okay, and here for router 1 FA01 the IP address is I'm just adding it here so you just need to understand that this is for this interface FA01. And for serial 000, similarly for R2. If you don't like it, you can just simply delete it by clicking and holding and then right click or just press delete. I don't think so. Right click works on packet tracer. Just click delete like this. Do you want to delete? Yes. Okay. If you want to bring it back, just Control Z to undo whatever you did. Okay. And serial 001. Okay. And for R3, FA01 and serial 001 would be this. Okay, so that makes things a bit easier to understand because when I do step, it would be easier to identify from where to where I'm pinging and which subnet I'm blocking when I'm making the ACLs. Okay, from PCC command prompt we have to ping PCA. Let's go in here. I just came in PCC and command prompt, and to ping PCA I have to do ping 192.168.1.3, and let's verify if it works. Normally it takes first time it takes time because it has to learn the MAC addresses, so that means it was doing ARP, so that's why it did timeout for the first one. Now it will always work. Okay, second, from PCC command prompt SSH to router 2 loopback interface 0. Okay, and loopback interface is 192.168.2.0. So let's do this here. I will mark it here. It's loopback 0. Okay, and from PCC I will close this command prompt. I will go here telnet SSH. I will type IP address 192.168.2.1. Let's verify. Yes, this is correct. And SSH. Password for VTY line. So SSH means that it's going over the Ethernet connection. not console. Okay, so we need this username, ssh admin, and connect. So now it is asking for the password. The password is for VTY line. I have fat finger, sorry man. Cisco SSH-PA55. Okay, we are in. Now we can do show run and we can do whatever we like. So we are into the router. So our SSH works. Next, from PCC, open web browser to PCA server using IP address to display the web page. Close the browser on PCC. So first, let's complete this step 3 first portion. From PCC, I'm opening browser and typing IP address of PCA 192.168.1.3. I'm going to do go and we can launch it. So it's successfully done. Now it says the close the browser on PCC. Okay, I'm closing it. From PCA server, command prompting PCC. So let's close this and now go back in PCA, open command prompt, ping, and the IP address. See how easy it is now just to see IP address and ping it. So from PCA, from here we are pinging PCC, and it works. It didn't need to do R because it had ping from PCC before, so that's why it knows the MAC address, and it didn't fail even for the first time. Our first task is done. Second, secure access to routers. And this simply means that whatever access we are having, that is VTY lines, it will tell in the next step, so we have to secure it. That means only specific IP addresses should be allowed to come in. So configure ACL 10 to block all routers access to the routers except from PCC. So everybody else should be blocked. Only PCC should be allowed. So let's go in first router to configure this. Control C is the one that you can stop the output in the middle. Then config T, and we have to do our access list 10, access list. I did like ACC and then tab access list 10 permit. Why permit? Because we have to allow only PCC. So when we do allow only PCC, remember in Cisco, whenever you allow or permit something, and after that line, if you don't write anything, that means it's explicit deny. Like anything after this line will be denied. So since it is saying that we should only allow PCC, so we will type its IP address. So to type IP address, do question mark. It will tell you what to do. So any or host. We need for host. And 192.168.3.3. This is the IP address of PCC. Let's verify. Yes. So now if I hit enter and if I do not type anything after this for access list 10, that means anything after this is denied. Okay. Instead of writing deny XYZ, deny ABC, deny and then permit this, it's better just to permit this and leave everything else denied. Okay. So our router 1 is ACL is done. Now next part is we have to configure it for router 2 and 3 as well. So I will copy this. I will go in router 2, config T, access list, paste. I will go in PC3, router 3, config T, and paste. Sorry, paste, enter. We have our access list 10 for all the routers. Now next step is use the access class command to apply the access list to incoming traffic on the VTY lines. So let's go on VTY lines. Since it doesn't say how many VTY lines, but usually it's always first 4. Okay, so I will do line VTY 0 space 4, enter. Now we are in here. If we do question mark first thing it says access class. This is what we want. Access class and question mark. It's asking for the number 10. Then it is asking for in or out. And here it says that use access class command to apply the access list to incoming traffic. Okay, so we type in. Router 1 is done. Okay, we have to do same for router 2. Line VTY 0 to 4. Access class 10 in. For router 3. Line VTY 0 to 4. And access class 10 in. To this point, we are done with our second task up to 2 steps. Third step is verify exclusive access from management station PCC. So from PCC, it should be working. That means we are doing SSH to loopback interface of the router. From this PCA, it should fail. From PCC, it should work because of access list that we just created. So let's verify. 192.168.2.1. This is loopback interface of the router. See, and password is username is SSH admin. Connect. Password is it's Cisco SSH PA55. Okay, it works. Okay, access list to this point is working, and let's verify here. It should fail, otherwise we are doing something wrong. So 192.168.2.1 SSH admin connect, and it says that okay, reestablish a new session because the previous one is closed by the host. Okay, it is very simple to verify. If you want to, I just want you to give some extra information that might help you. So 192.168.2.1 SSH admin. If you want to see what's going on, if you just turn on simulation, and now if you do connect, you just need to see the packets connect. So from here, packet starts. Click here, go to the next step. It comes to the switch. It comes to the router. It goes to this router because this router is the one where we are going to do SSH. And when we do next, it says failed. Okay, and if you click here, okay, so you can read the information. Okay, the device sets the connection state to close. So the router sending this packet and saying that please, I am not allowed to connect with you, so close it. And if I go a little bit back on this router, we can investigate this packet. What does it say? Okay, the device looks up the IP address and okay, and here this is the information. There is a TCP SYN for port 22, and it receives further information calling. The calling process refuses the connection request. This is because of our access list. So we can verify in the packet that it's been closed for this PCA. Okay, so I'm putting it back to real time. Our task 2 is complete. Okay. And up to this point, if you want to verify if your task 1 and 2 are complete, you can just click check result assessment, and here you can see that your line VTY access class is applied. Your ACL 10 is configured, similarly for router 2, for router 3 as well. So rest of the incomplete tasks are part of the next exercise, next tasks that we are going to do. Okay, close it. So we will back like this and move to task 3. Task 3 says on router 3 block all packets containing the source IP address from the following pool of addresses. So whatever comes from this should be blocked, and whatever comes from private IP addresses defined in RFC 1918 should be blocked, and any IP multicast address. So multicast, I will tell you one by one when I do the steps. So what are the RFC 1918 addresses? Okay, so these are actually private addresses defined to use only for the private network. They cannot go over public over internet. Okay, let's do the first step. Configure ACL 100 to block all specified traffic from the outside network. Okay, on which router? It is router 3. Let's go in router 3. Exit from here, and it says that we should configure what? Access list 100 and deny, and class A network. Class A starts from 0.0.0 and it ends on 127.255.255.255. Out of this, our private IP address range is, which is defined in RFC 1918, is 10.0.0.0, and subnet mask should be 255.0.0.0. Okay, this is 8-bit. But for access list, we always define wild card, which is opposite of subnet mask. So it will be 0.255.255.255. And it says that traffic source from this to any destination. So we need to do any. Read it again. Block all packets containing the source IP address from this pool and any IP address with multicast address. So means that we just need to block these IP address. Doesn't matter where they are going. So for source, we put this, and then if you type question mark, next is sorry, hold on, something is wrong. Yes, I know what is wrong. Question mark, and here I need to put IP, and then we need to put subnet 0.0. Then it's wildcard 0.255.255.255, and now it is asking for destination address. Destination is any. So this is our first thing we blocked. Second thing is in class B, which is actually 172.16. Let me write, and it will help you to understand better. 100 deny IP 172.16.0.0, and for this subnet will be 255.240.0.0, but we have to put wildcard, which is opposite of it. So 0.0.15.255.255. Okay, and put any, and we are done. This last any is destination. Okay, enter. Similarly, I will put for class C access list 100 deny IP 192.168.0.0, and it is 16-bit that is allowed. So the opposite of subnet mask is 0.0.255.255. Destination is any. So our RFC 1918 private addresses are blocked. You can Google about it, the private IP addresses ranges. Okay, so then you just need to do opposite of it to get the wildcard which we are putting it. Normally it is confusing, but once you go through that or Google, you will be able to understand. Next is we have to block this IP address, which is 127, sorry, access list 100, deny IP to, oh sorry, 172 172 is done actually. Next is this IP address, which is localhost IP address 127.0.0.0, and opposite of 8-bit subnet mask is 0.255.255.255. Destination is any. And the third thing is multicast IP address. So multicast range starts from 224.0.0.0 and ends to on 239.255.255.255. This whole range is called multicast IP range. So just to cover all this range, I'll put like this: IP 224.0.0.0, and since its mask subnet mask is 240.0.0.0, so the opposite of it is 15.255.255.255. Destination is any. Okay, since we blocked everything, and now if we do not put anything after this, it means that after this everything else will be denied. So we are not allowing anything to come in, but we have to allow all other things but not this one. So whatever we wanted to block, we blocked them, and rest other than this, any traffic source from other than these IP addresses should be allowed. So we should do access list 100 permit IP source any, destination any. Okay, so this is done. So let me show you how it looks like. Show run. If you see, it looks like this. And sequence is very important. If something is written here and you told it to be permitted, but you have another line here which is denying it, so it will read this line and get it denied, and it will never check the lines after it. So the sequence is very important. If you put this line at the beginning, that means you're allowing everything, you're permitting everything. So whenever traffic comes in, it will just check this line and it permits, and it will not check the rest of the line. So that's why we have to deny whatever we wanted before, and then we allow everything else. Okay, this is how it looks like. There is another way to see it. It's show IP access list 10. Sorry, not 10, it's 100. This is where we can see as well. This is also showing you the sequence. Another way is show IP access list. And this is what I wanted to show you. If you want to add another access list, but you want to add it in between 10 and 20, you can create just like access list config t and access list 100. Okay, and then deny or permit. If you do it this way, it will just add at the end of it with the number 70, which is not what we want. We want to add it in between 10 and 20. For that, you need to do IP access list and then put standard and then put 10. It will take you inside the NECL, inside the access list. Now here, if you do question mark, it is asking you the number, sequence number. Now you can put 11 and then permit and whatever you want, host and destination, then it will go in between 10 and 20. So it will have the sequence that you want. That's why normally these policies are define like 10, 20, 30. Just in future, if you want to add something in the middle, you do not need to delete everything and create again with proper sequence. You can just put it in the middle by having available 9 or 10 sequences between them. Okay, so it is just kind of a future planning. I'm not going to create it because this is not what we require. Our first step is done. Now we have to apply it on router 3 serial 001. Let's go quickly in router 3 interface serial 0/0/1, and how to apply it. IP access group, and then access group number is 100. Okay, and what does it say? It should be telling it in or out. Let's read it. Coordinate sources. So you should block traffic sourced from outer interface if it is any your internet IP access list, and access apply its incoming traffic. Okay, so we put in, enter. So our step 2 is done. Now confirm that specified traffic entering interface 001 is dropped. So how to verify? From PCC command prompt, let's go in PCC command prompt, ping PCA server. So PCA server is ping 192.168.1.3, and echo replies will be blocked. Echo replies means that because we were putting this access list on serial 001 of router 3, and it was on the incoming traffic. So when we do ping, the ping will be able to go out, but once it returns back, it will be blocked. Okay, so that's what it means. The echo replies are blocked. How to verify it? I'm going to put it in simulation mode. Now I will do it like this, and let's see if it works. See, access list is in incoming traffic, not for the outgoing, so it allowed it going out. And let's wait for the reply back. It's coming back, and here is the magic. See, it dropped, and you can read it why it is dropped. The packet matches the criteria of the following statement: deny IP 168 and source or destination any. The packet is denied and dropped. So access list is working for echo. I'm putting it back to real, and you can see here it is saying request timed out. So our incoming echo requests are blocked. Okay. Step 4, remove ACL, and now we have to do just remove it because it is not our objective to block this traffic. It was just an exercise to make student learn how to create access list. So I will go in the same interface, serial 0/0/1, and I will do just up arrow command. So and I put no in the beginning and enter. And step 4 is complete. Now we will go to task 4. Task 4 is deny all outbound packets with source address outside the range of internal IP addresses. Okay, so how to do that? Let's read step 1. Step 1 of task 4 is configure ACL 110 to permit only traffic from the inside network. So when we look at router 3, our inside network is on right side. Okay, so it is saying that only allow network which is on this side. Whenever you go over serial interface, that means WAN interface is outside. So our inside is 192.168.3.0 network. This is what should be allowed. So let's go back in router 3, exit from here, and access list 110. This is what it is asking. 110 and permit. Why permit? Because we have to allow only inside traffic. Permit IP, and now source IP address. Whenever you are not getting you don't remember what to put next, just do question mark. You tell your source address is 92.168.3.0. Please remember, here it is not asking for the host, it's asking for where it is inside network, so it's the whole subnet. That's why it's 0. And then the subnet opposite of subnet mask is wildcard, which is 0.0.0.255. Destination is any. Okay, so we are done, because after this, if we do not type anything and everything else is denied, so our ACL is complete to this point. Now second step is to apply it on F01. Interface F is 0/1 IP access group 110 and incoming traffic again. Okay, in space in. Okay, so task 4 is complete. To up till task 4, we have configured 110 ACL 10. Let's see our activity. So it says complete 91%. Let's see what is remaining. Okay, great. For routed 3 ACL 10, 100, 110 are complete, and we have to apply it on these interfaces. These are done. Routed is complete, and only 120 is remaining. That's the next task. So let's close it and move to task 5. Task 5, to create ACL number 120 for router 1. Okay, here it says, and it should be allowed. It should be allowing DNS, SMTP, FTP service on server PCA, deny any outside host access to HTTPS services on PCA, and permit PCC to access R1 via SSH. Okay, so access list. So it is just saying that any host can permit any outside host. Permits any outside. That means our source is any. Okay, for the access list. And destination is PCA, that is 192.168.1.3. And how to say that only allow to these services? We will put like the port numbers or the name of the service. Packet tracer allows only few services, name of the services. Rest of them we can mention by putting the port number. So let's go in to the router 1 and exit from here. So simply access list, same way, 120. Remember, we have to permit outside host to access DNS, any outside host. So we have sources. First we need to do permit any. Wait, question mark. What we are going to permit? We are going to permit UDP or TCP port. TCP, and remember, DNS is domain name server, and this is UDP. So let's put UDP, and after that, it is asking for host source. Source could be any. That's what it is. And then question mark towards PCA. PCA is not a network. It's one IP address. So next is host. We can put single host. Let's type host, and then IP address of the host 192.168.1.3. So what simply it says, permit UDP traffic from any source towards host base for EQ. Now, if you type question mark, EQ matches only packets on a given port number. So that's what it means, EQ. And if I type question mark again, it will allow you to give very few service names. boot PC, boot as domain, ISA, and if there is and the service that you want is not in the list, you can just use its port number. But since we have domain here, domain name server, we just put domain and question mark, enter. So we allowed everything to come in from any source towards our server for domain name server services. Next is we need to permit SMTP. So access list 120 permit, and SMTP works on TCP. TCP source is any, destination is our server host 192.168.1.3 EQ SMTP. And now I do up arrow, and next is FTP. And now I do up arrow again, and for HTTPS, if you do EQ here and do question mark, we don't see HTTPS in the list. That's problem. So what we can do, just put port number 443. It will do the same. It's doing exactly the same job. Okay, and the last thing, it is saying that and permit PCC to access R1 via SSH. So access list 120 permit. Hold on, are we doing something wrong? Actually, we have to deny any outside traffic for HTTPS, not permit. So sorry, we can just remove it simply by doing up arrow key, up arrow key, up arrow key, and 443, and put no in the end, in the beginning. It will remove that. And now we do up arrow key again, and instead of permit, in fact I would like to write it again so not to confuse you. Access list 120 permit TCP deny, yes, right, deny TCP any host 192.168.1.3 equal to 443. So all of the above services are allowed, but HTTPS is blocked. And next is to allow SSH from our PCC to our router R1. And R1, when we look at our PCC, if it comes in from for this PCC, we should be looking for this interface, which is 10.1.1.1. Okay. Access list 120. We do permit, then TCP. We have to allow one IP address, that's PCC. So we put host, and then IP address of PCC, and towards what? To our router, this which is also one host. So we'll put host again, and IP address of router 1, and we are allowing access what? Yes, SSH. If we do question mark, there is no SSH in the list, so we will just mark its port number here. Since it got a bit lengthy, we cannot see the sequence of it, so I will do something to make it look better so you can understand. Show run. Okay, so okay, so I have to do this thing again because when I did no access list 120, it removed everything that we configured before. Okay, so that's kind of a good learning step, that when you do no access list 120, you shouldn't be doing like no access list. You should go do IP access list, then go inside of that access list and then do no. I will show you how. Config T. Just the bottom line is the task 5 step 1, because of doing no, we removed everything, so we have to do this again. And now IP access list 120. This is what I was telling you, sorry, extended 120. And from here we should have done no, and then sequence number and whatever, okay? But this is what we didn't do, and hence we lost all our access list and only left with two that we configured in the very end. So I'm going to do no access list 120 to remove everything and configure all again. Since I have it written with me, so I'm going to copy, so you can do the same way. I'm copying all of them at the same time. Okay, so it is the same. We are permitting domain, then we are permitting SMTP, then we are permitting FTP, and then we are denying HTTPX access, and then we are permitting access over SSH to router from PCC. Okay, and now we do exit, show run to verify we have our access list. Okay, we have our access list. Next step, step 3, to apply it on serial 000. So conf t interface serial 0/0/0 and IP access group 120, and it's again in. You see incoming. Now it says that verify PCA via HTTPS using the web browser. So it should fail. So first of all, to verify if it is really running PCA server is running HTTPS or not, we go in services, and from here we go HTTP. HTTPS is running. Okay, our HTTP should work, HTTPS should not work. So PCC web browser and HTTPS 192.168.1.3. Okay, go. Let's wait for the reply. It will fail eventually. Yeah, request timed out. And if I do just HTTP, yes, and it will fail as well because there is nothing we are permitting. If you look at the ACL that we created here, we are only permitting these services and denying for 443, and then permitting this, and after this it's explicit deny. So everything after this is also denied. So it is not gonna work. Okay, that's why our HTTP is also failing. But that's fine. This is part of exercise. So our HTTPS from the web browser failed, so we are done with our step 4. Now it says modify an access list. Okay, permit ICMP echo replies and destination unreachable messages from the outside network relative to R1. So for R1, outside network is on its right side, left side is inside network. So it is saying that permit ICMP echo replies and destination unreachable message from the outside network. So whatever comes from outside network towards R1 or towards its inner network should be permitted, and anything else should be denied. Okay, so how to do that? Step 1, verify PCA cannot successfully ping the loopback interface on R2. PCA command prompt ping 192.168.2.1, it's loopback interface for R2. And if I do, and it says that cannot successfully ping, so we can see that it's failing. Okay, next step to make any necessary changes to ACL 120 to permit and deny the specified traffic. So which we need to permit? We need to permit echo replies and destination unreachable from outside network. Okay, so for that we need to go back in R1, and along with this we have to add something else in the end. Even if we add something in the end, it will work because the access list we are going to create here is not part of any of these access lists, so it will not stop on any of this. It will come at the end to check. So access list, no, sorry, here we need to go out of interface and then access list 120 permit ICMP, and we have to permit ICMP from source, any source, okay, and then any destination, and what we have to allow, echo replies of it. So permit ICMP replies and destination reachable, any, and then question mark, you see, echo reply. This is what we need to allow, echo dash reply. Similarly, we have to permit for ICMP host unreachable. Okay, unreachable. Any traffic other than this related to ICMP should be blocked. Okay, so access list 120 deny ICMP source any destination any question mark any. If we just leave it here, that will include everything. Okay, just enter, and then it says that ICMP packets. Now whatever we wanted to allow and whatever we wanted to block, we have done it, and eventually at the very end of the list there is explicit deny, which we do not want to have it, because then our required or needed traffic will be blocked as well. So we have to do access list 120 permit IP, so any other traffic than the rules we configured above, any other traffic than that should be allowed. So any, okay, that's it. And then step 3, it says verify PCA can successfully ping the loopback interface of R2. Let's verify. So ping 192.168. No, sorry, PCA, not PCC. So before it was timing out, now it should work. See, our access list is working. Great. And now last it says that check your result and it should be 100%. Good, we see all tick marks. Even if you see it at the bottom, here it says 100%. Okay, so I'm going to save it with 7-2-2-complete. Yes, before I close the session, I want to show you one more thing, because if you reboot router, not close and open packet tracer, but reboot, it will lose all the configuration. So we have to do copy, or easy way is write memory. It will keep the configuration permanently. Similarly for router 2, and write memory. Similarly this one, write memory. Now I save it again, and that's it. I hope it explains everything.